Welcome back to RacerX Wednesday. A little bit different angle today. You guys get to see my plant in the background. Maybe you can see me a little bit better at this angle. I'm going to come and get a little closer to you guys. And of course, I have my computer right here, so I'm going to go ahead and get you guys loaded up. But we are back, RacerX Wednesday, the first time in 2 months. So please do me a big, gigantic favor, guys. Let me know when you jump into the live. It should be a lot of fun. I have a ton of stuff to talk to you guys about tonight. I also expect tonight's live to be very interactive. I hope we can. I'm going to get to as many comments tonight as I can. Several big announcements to make. Just a lot of stuff going on. After not talking to you guys in 2 months, I'm super excited about it. So I'm going to go ahead and jump really quick into my feed. So give me 1 second here. And we should be in good shape. Matter of fact, I've got to watch my own ad for whatever reason. There I am. All right, so I'm going to be kind of looking down this way just a little bit as I talk to you guys and look at comments. Like I said, I've got a bunch of new stuff. I've got a new equipment, new things coming in right now. So thank you guys for joining me on the live tonight. We got about 50 people in. Do me a big, gigantic favor, guys, as you join the live tonight, please hit thumbs up for me. I would really appreciate that. The more thumbs up we get, typically the better the videos do, and that helps the channel overall. So I'm going to just kind of look and see who we've got in the building. My man, Sovereign Knight, good to see him in tonight, buddy. I thank you very, very much for joining my super mod there. And then, of course, who else do we have in the building? We've got Neil Myers in the house. Kyle was first. Good to see you in. Let's see here. Who else? Wilson Blanco says, hey, RacerX. My man, Jay Beeman is in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Let's see. Eric is here. Good to see you. Let's see. Kid Fuse, my brother Racer C. How are you doing? Doing good, buddy. Thank you for asking. Let's see. My man Greg Anderson is here. Good to see you, Greg. Ashley is here. So excited about a new build. Could be big for the channel. Well, that's the idea, right? So hopefully you guys can see me okay. I feel like maybe I look just a little grainy in this light, but I'm trying to do stuff in a little bit different way right now. So let's see. Jay Ortiz is in. Good to see you, buddy. Jalen is here saying hello. Who else? I got a bunch of folks in. Randy Brown, Sleeper Reaper. Hey, RacerX, I'm listening. Hit the like button, guys. Absolutely. We got 38 likes already, 117 people in. Just lets people know that we are live. I've got a big old list of stuff to talk about tonight, guys. So let me say hi to a few more people. Like I said, I'll try to get to a bunch of comments tonight. Obviously, I always try to get to the super chats first, and then I'll go back to the other comments. That's just how I've always done it. Really quick, before I get going too far into tonight's live, we've got 118 people on. I will mention this a little later if we get a lot more people on, but kind of a weird situation. My hats, everybody's been asking me for hats, like for years. Everybody's been asking me, and finally, I was able to get the right supplier, get some hats in. So if you guys want to order one of my hats, like I said, this is my new design with the orange on it. I did have it redesigned a little while back because I wasn't real happy with the way that it came out. But we asked for a few little subtle changes. It took months and months and months. At any rate, they just came in. I opened up my Etsy shop yesterday, and some people ordered them already, and then Etsy shut my listing down, and then I appealed it. And now I don't know what's going on with it. So if you want one of my hats, at least right now, until I get my Etsy shop back up and running, if that doesn't work, I'll do Shopify. But you guys go ahead and just shoot me a message on Instagram at RacerXNew. If you have Instagram, RacerXNew, you may follow me there, you may not. But if you want one of my hats, message me there, and we'll get it sorted there. And I'm happy to do it. I'm super happy with the new design. Looks basically identical to what I wear. Super cool. And I'm just happy that finally I can get you guys hats that you guys have been asking. And I'm going to start working on stickers, like really nice ones you can put on your car. And I'm going to start doing a line of shirts from now on. But I've got to get this shop thing working first. So I don't know why Etsy's giving me a hard time. I don't know if it's just because it's handmade stuff or whatever. I don't know. It's hard to say. But if I can get that back up, I will let you guys know. But in the meantime, if you want one of my hats, we'll make it happen. You guys can pay me on PayPal or something, and I will get it shipped. I've got all the shipping supplies. I bought the label made. Everything's ready. They're ready to ship out. And like I said, I've got 3 to ship out tomorrow already. And then they're just coming in. But now that they've shut my shop down, I'm like, well, I'll just tell people to hit me up on PayPal, at least for now. And then I'll get them shipped out as soon as I can, like right away, because I've got all the stuff to do it. I can just get it nailed down. So also, that being said, because it is my brand new hat, it is my launch edition hat, tonight, whoever gives me the biggest super chat, I will keep track of it. It's always hard for me to keep track of how many. Whoever gives me the most cumulative super chats tonight, that I will go ahead and send you one of my hats for free, and I will sign it. And I have some other really cool goodies that I'm going to throw in with it. I don't want to tell you what they are. They're going to be a surprise, but whoever gives me the biggest super chat tonight, I will do that for you guys. So it should be a fun live tonight. So once again, guys, we got about 160 people on. Hit thumbs up on your way in the door tonight. I'm going to say hi to a few more folks. Just wanted to let you guys know, finally, after years of trying to get, honestly, I didn't really pursue it all that much, but it's been a little while, me trying to get the right hat for like the right price and just trying to do it right so it wasn't a crappy one. You guys can see really quick if you just want to look. Like I said, I'll go on to the next thing here in just a second. But if you guys want one, you guys have been asking me for it. This one's one size fits all, but I did a buckle because I just liked the design. And they look really good. I'm going to start wearing them in my videos and stuff like that. This one's a new era. This one's not. But I didn't want to charge you guys $50 for a hat. I wasn't going to do that. So at any rate, hit me up on IG, guys, if you want one. We'll make it happen. The next thing, real quick, let me say hi to a few more people. Phantom 35 is in. Let's see, Kid Fuse, I think I got some of you guys. I got to start jumping around just a little bit. That's a cool hat, says Sarvin. I thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Let's see, Aura is in. Let's see, Stuart, let me guess, NA build. We'll talk about that here in just a second. Irving, let's see, RacerX, it's been a while. It has, guys. It's been too long, and I apologize. There's my man Aaron already jumping in with the super chats. I didn't even see you on yet, Aaron, so I'm going to have to keep track of you guys tonight as the super chats come in. Thank you for that. Let me grab Aaron's comment. He says, what's up, X-Fam? So glad to have my buddy Aaron. He's been with me for a really long time. A lot of my moderators have been with me for years. You guys do a great job for me. Thank you, guys. So who else do we got on here? You, Rused SRT. So what's a super chat? Well, that's where, like what Aaron just did. So that's a perfect example right there. Let's see here. TP, dude, you're not going to believe this. I met your dad today. That's interesting. I guess my dad's out there being a crazy man. I know my dad, I mean, I wouldn't even talk about it, but my dad actually just bought a brand new Genesis G90. I don't know if you guys have ever seen one of those. I know Doug DeMuro and Joe Rady and all those guys have done reviews on that car. But the car it's a luxury car. It's not really like my thing, you know, that's why you guys don't see me doing reviews on it, but it's a really nice car, like really nice, like S550 Mercedes, like S580 Mercedes, nice. But he got rid of his Chrysler 300. So, you know, I don't know. I think he loved his Chrysler 300. It was a really neat color. It was Canyon Sunset is what he called it. But anyway, doesn't have it anymore. Now he's got this new Genesis, which is bad to the bone. And I think maybe his new car, his old car may have sold to somebody. So I don't know. But I know that several of my dad's tennis friends and some of his work friends actually subscribe to the channel. So I'm glad you got to meet him. He is a character. Who else do we got in here? A couple other super chats. I want to get on with a few things real quick. It says the Tog Vlog. I don't even know if I got the whole screen name in. Thoughts 170s missing a bearing, truth or false. I have seen one person put that out and I cannot validate that. I cannot validate that. I am still waiting. One of the things I was going to talk about, but perfect segue. So thank you, one, for the super chat. And that is a good segue because I have not heard back from Stellantis. I know you guys are going to ask me about this in terms of what was wrong with my Demon 170 engine. I'm still waiting. I've already asked them multiple times, hey, have you heard back from engineering? What's going on? I want to be able to share with my fan base exactly what happened to my engine and caused it to basically almost seize up. Didn't quite seize up, but it wasn't good. The engine ate itself essentially. So I wanted to find out the cause for that. Also, so you guys know, I went ahead and sent my oil. I just changed my own oil on the Demon. And I sent it off to Blackstone Labs. I only have 550 miles on the Demon, the new engine. And already changed it out. I put brand new AMS oil in it, which in my opinion is the best oil on earth. That's what all the race teams use. Anyway, I work with AMSOIL, obviously. So I got brand new engine oil in there. The car seems very, very happy, but I am still sending off this brand new break-in oil to Blackstone Labs. And I'm hoping to hear back from them soon on the health of my new engine. And once I hear back on the old engine, guys, I will let you know right away. But I'm taking every precaution with this new engine. So there's that. Thank you for the super chat again. Also, my man Greg Anderson chiming in there. Let me go ahead and get Greg in there as well. Greg is in there at $5. Cool. All right, guys. Thank you for the super chats. And thank you, Greg. Let's see here. Itch Coulter, he says, good day, guys. Let's see. Who else? John says, Genesis is a luxury Honda. They are cool. My 81-year-old dad drives a 21 Veloster N. So the 21 Veloster N seems like a weird vehicle for somebody in their 80s because it's very small, it's compact, it's sporty. I think it's more geared for like a younger generation of folks. So I think that's actually pretty cool that that your dad rocks the Veloster N. That's actually a really fun little car to drive. So who else do we got in here? Joel says, wheel was fine, but the 170 gerbil died. Well, maybe so. BB Dragon 66, Uncle Tony pretty much put the missing bearing into the mostly impossible realm. That's also kind of my thought on that. I would agree with that. I would agree with Uncle Tony on his sentiments on the bearing. I don't want to go into it too much because I know that it will be, it's going to be scrutinized over, guys, and you'll probably never find out, to be honest. But I suspect it's probably not a bearing thing. I've seen some funny stuff with the Demon 170 engines, but not a lot. So I don't want to go into that too much. Let's see here. Migs Handles, what's good? Thank you for joining tonight. My man Jay Ortiz saying hi to everybody. I think I got just about I probably skipped over a few people. Roger's in the house. Let's see. Jeff Noob. Wilson's in the house. This looks sick. Bob's here. I'd pay $50 for a flex cap. Well, I don't have, unfortunately, Bob, I didn't get, the fitted kind because then I have to carry a lot of different sizes. So I just did the one size fits all, but I'm actually really, like I said, I'm really pleased with these guys. So like I said, hit me up on IG for the moment till I get this Etsy thing sorted. And we'll figure out a way to get you one. So we'll make it happen. And like I said, I can go probably ship them out as early as tomorrow. So we'll figure it out. So I think I'm caught up on super chat. So really quick, guys, I do want to also mention one other thing. On Friday, I will be down at Dream Giveaway. They have their Demon ceremony. So many of you guys may be aware, Dream Giveaway is one of the groups that I work with. Love those guys. They have some sick cars. I've entered to win almost every one of their drawings. I have not won yet, unfortunately. It's kind of hard to win them, but I think it's definitely worth a few dollars to try. But their Demon ceremony is tomorrow. So they gave away a beautiful 2018 Dodge Demon. The winner has already been selected, guys. I'm sorry to tell you, if you have not already been notified, you didn't win the Demon. I didn't win the Demon. But because they're here in Tampa, I told them I would be down there for the ceremony. I'm actually going to do a video of that ceremony. It's not going to be like the dedicated video if one of my subscribers wins. It's not that kind of thing, but I do want to go down there, celebrate with the person because it is one of my favorite Mopars that they've given away. And that way you guys can see that there is some tangibility. They actually do give these things away to real people. And that's why I'm excited to promote their stuff and also excited to enter to win their stuff. Because, maybe somebody would think it would be weird if I won, but you know what? Why can't I enter using my own code just like you guys? So if you are interested in any of the Dream Giveaway, if you've been to their website, it's awesome. All the stuff they have, the Cadillac one, it's probably one of my favorite ones they've ever done is the Cadillac one. I'm not even that huge of a Cadillac guy, but you guys have to go look, Dream Giveaway, and then you can use my code RacerX9 and you get 3 times the entries, which I love. I had to kind of fight with them a little bit because initially it was like 2 just using my code, and now we have 3 times entries for my subscribers and the same thing I get. So use my code on any of their drawings. You can literally go through and see all the ones they're doing right now. They do have another one that I can't tell you guys about yet that you guys are going to think is absolutely sick, but I have to wait. So I gotta wait. I'm sorry, but they have another drawing coming up. I think you guys will love it. I love it. But I can't let the cat out of the bag on that one. But they do have some sick. The Challenger giveaway is sick. They have a super stock and a 1970 Challenger, and they're both plumb crazy. Love that giveaway. A lot of you guys have already entered to win that one. So anyway, Friday, I'll be at Dream Giveaway. Expect a video on that. Also, tomorrow I have a video coming out, just so you guys are aware. There's a lot of stuff going around right now. My good buddy, OC Motivator, he put out a video recently about basically Carlos Tavares, who is the CEO of Stellantis, the big umbrella corporation that now owns Mopar, i.e., Dodge, Jeep, Chrysler, Ram. And basically, he is killing the brand. Now, there's a couple different ways to look at it. So I'm going to give you a little preview. I don't want to give you everything that I'm giving you in tomorrow's video, but I'm going to talk about both sides of the coin because I think everybody is of the mindset that he's killing the brand. He's just completely killing it off. He has no understanding of what's going on in the American market. And there may be some truth to that. We'll talk about that aspect, but I'm going to give you the other side of the coin, a little bit of something else to look at and something else to think about that not everybody is talking about. And I think you guys might find that interesting. So what are his true plans for Dodge, Jeep, Chrysler, Ram? I will give you guys my thoughts on tomorrow's video. So stay tuned for that. And tomorrow, 4 o'clock, you guys will be able to watch my new video on that. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Like I said, I try to look at things holistically from a macro point of view and give you really both sides of things and try and be as truthful as I can about what's happening and maybe some reasons why. So, and maybe what to expect. So that is my little spiel on tomorrow's video. Just like I said, a little preview. So let me go ahead and jump back into a few comments. I've got lots of stuff here. Talked about the oil going to Blackstone Labs. Also, before I forget, I got to hit one other thing before I get back to comments. I do hope that I can get back to racing the Demon soon with it only having 580 miles on it. It's been raining like every freaking day here in Florida. That's summertime in Florida. It's what you get. It is a challenge. But they are planning to have some sort of a Mopar shootout type event next month in July, which means I need to get more miles put on the car, which I plan to do. And hopefully, once I know the date of that, I can go out and maybe compete in that. It is supposed to be at Bradenton. It's basically like a private event, which means the prep will hopefully be good. Doesn't mean the weather will cooperate, but I'm going to try. And I know a lot of you guys want to see me get back to racing the Demon. I haven't put any race content out in the Demon forever because I just haven't been able to. We got a new engine. It took a while to get the engine in. We're still working on the break-in stuff. So unfortunately, I haven't really been able to do the racer part of RacerX, and I hate that. But that's part of the game, guys. That's the way it goes. So anyway, but we will get back to it, and I hope to bring you guys a lot more race content with the Demon 170. You guys saw the thumbnail for tonight's video. I only have 182 folks on, 112 thumbs up, guys. So do me a huge favor, hit thumbs up on your way in the door tonight. It's hurricane rainy season, says J-Dog. It is. And they say it's supposed to be a really bad hurricane season, but hurricane season started, I think, at the beginning of this month. Fingers crossed, nothing yet. Wilson Blanco says the Hemi is coming back. No, the Hemi won't be coming back. Wilson, thank you for the super chat. And I think a lot of people are right along like with your thoughts, right? They want the Hemi to come back. I get that. I've talked about it in multiple videos. If you guys watch my channel pretty religiously, you're probably well aware of what I've put out there on the big reason why the Hemi won't be coming back. And it has to do with the design of a Hemi. Now, if different legislation decides that, hey, we don't want to push this EV agenda quite so hard, then things might change, because initially the Hemi was a 3 on the smog index, which didn't hurt quite as bad, but when they changed the rules, the Hemi became a 1 on the smog index. And, the 6.4s, the Hellcats, all of them. And that is the worst, that's the worst possible rating. And that's why we saw Stellantis having to buy literally billions of dollars of EPA credits from Tesla. That's their direct competitor. So that's not a good business model. It's just not. Plus all the fines they had to pay to the EPA. So that's not sustainable. And that doesn't mean that the new engine, if they come out with a new V8, in my opinion, it will not be a Hemi. And keep in mind, the Hemis you have right now, as long as they're a newer Hemi, they're not really Hemis. If you really understand the design of a hemispherical head, initially when they made a Hemi, I think the initial Hemi was like a 4-cylinder, like a really long time ago. And they morphed. But eventually, in order to meet better compliance, regulations, they went to a less hemispherical head, but they still called it a Hemi. They kind of still had some elements of Hemi, but not really. So even your 6.4, your Hellcat stuff, even your 5.7, they don't really have true hemispherical heads. So it's not really a true Hemi. So if they do come out with another 8-cylinder engine, most likely it will not be a Hemi. And I would be perfectly fine with that. I mean, I know Dodge cut its teeth on a Hemi engine. But remember, you guys that are driving Hemis, most likely it's not actually a true Hemi anyway. And maybe they quit marketing it as a Hemi, and I think some people would still be okay with that. If you really know engine design and kind of what the old engine was. But they're going to need to do something more like what Ford has done. And Ford's Mustang, even though it's a 5-cylinder dual overhead cam, 4 valves per cylinder, it is a more fuel efficient 8-cylinder, and it is much more smog compliant. So it actually rates a 5. So that engine doesn't hurt nearly as bad as the true hemispherical head engines do. And even the current Hemis we have right now, I mean, a 1, it's not going to get it done. They just can't do that. So does it really warrant Carlos Tavares saying, hey, look, we're going to build a new V8 just to appease these people in the US? Stellantis as a company is doing really well. Maybe they don't understand the American consumer. I get that. If they want to do business here, maybe that's something they need to think about. Only the powers that be know the answer to that. I wouldn't be surprised if a 8-cylinder is still being kicked around for future goals for the company, if they plan on holding on to Dodge and Jeep. But that doesn't mean right now that's not the way it's going. So anyway, guys, I kind of went off on a tangent there, but that was a great kind of statement / question. And I thought I would just put my 2 cents out there, guys, because that's what's being talked about right now. It really is. That's what's going around, and that's what people are talking about is, hey, I still want that 8-cylinder engine. Would you guys care if it wasn't branded a Hemi? What if they called it something else? The RacerX 5000 or something. How would you feel about the way that new engine is branded? Because we all know Dodge and Hemi kind of synonymous. Well, keep in mind that Hemis did not start out as a Dodge product or a Chrysler product, if you will. It's just, you have to know the history of the engine and what the engine really is. So I would not really care. I would love to see a new V8. I like a lot of the Chevy V8s. I think they're fantastic. The Coyote, you guys saw, had a boosted Mustang, absolutely loves boost. If they went to a dual overhead cam V8, that would mean these engines would love boost versus the current Hemis. Iron block means they're super heavy. They're super smog inefficient. They just need a new design, something lighter, something more powerful, something with a more efficient head design. There's a lot of improvements that can be made. And so maybe the pain we're going through right now might be worth it in the long run if they do come out with one. We'll just have to wait and see. In the meantime, we have the Hurricane engine coming out, which is the engine that I'm excited about. I know a lot of you guys are just like, nope, not a V8, it sucks. I can't subscribe to that mentality because I've seen a lot of cars that are unbelievably fast. Remember, I'm a performance guy, guys. I know the V8s sound good, and I agree. I think a V10 Viper sounds good. I think a Huracan sounds amazing. I think, the 12-cylinder cars sound good. Everything has its own merit, but I wouldn't necessarily dismiss the performance of a 6-cylinder. I mean, heck, even my Subaru WRX STI, I made it sound pretty good. For those of you guys who remember from a long time ago when I had that car on the channel, everybody was like, dude, there's no way that's a 4-cylinder. It was a Boxer engine, but it sounded good. So, anything can be done. Sound is subjective. Performance, not really quite as much, right? So it just depends on what plank you stand on, so to speak. But anyway, guys, like I said, going off on a tangent there. Let me make sure I got to all the super chats really quick, and I'll move on to some comments here, guys, because next we're going to move on to, it looks like I got them all yeah, really good. Anytime you guys put something out there that gets me to go off on a tangent, that's always a good question or comment. So I appreciate the super chat so far tonight, guys. Right now, Greg is winning the the hat thing with $5. So anyway, we'll see if we get any other bigger super chats tonight. It should be a fun one. Oh, the Tog vlog is now up to $7 though. I gotta make sure. I'm just gonna call him the Tog because his screen name is really long. Let's see. So he's up to 7. So he says, my sister is general counsel attorney for Stellantis North America. I can help you get the info you need on your 170 engine. That would be great. Hit me up on Instagram if there's a way that you can get me more information on it. I'm working with several people at Dodge trying to get more info. That's the avenue that I'm typically known to explore. But that doesn't mean it's the right avenue. And if you can help, I'm certainly all about it. So thank you very much for offering that. Thank you for the super chat, and definitely hit me up on Instagram at RacerX New. And maybe we can get some more info. I would really appreciate that if there's something you can do. So great news. And you're up to winning this the hat so far at $7. So there's my man Jay Beeman jumping in. Can't wait for some Demon racing videos. Thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate it. And he's at 5. All right, cool. Thank you guys for the super chats, by the way. So yeah, I'm ready to get back to racing too, guys. It sucks. The air right now is awful. It's rainy season in Florida, so it's bad DA. The car's not going to make the kind of power we would hope for, so we're not going to go out and run in the low 9s, guys. It's just not really feasible with a car that's not an electric car this time of year. And any drag racer will tell you guys it's tough. But if I go out and race other internal combustion cars, like this Mopar event, they all have to deal with the same constraint that I do when it comes to atmospheric condition, DA and grains. Grains are high in Florida. DA is not good. It's great to be at sea level, especially when the air is cold and it's dry, but you don't really get cold, dry air in Florida. It's tough. So what do you do? But that doesn't mean, like I said, everybody's dealing with the same atmospheric conditions, levels the playing field, and that makes it fun. So, and that's really what it's all about, guys. I am not the kind of person that's looking to go out and make thousands and thousands of dollars at the racetrack. Of course, I've done it in the past. But right now, I just want to go out and have fun with the car. It's a stock production car. And I think that's part of what makes it so freaking cool. So why not have a good time with it, show you guys some footage that's fun, and just get back to my roots and get back to racing. So there's Sovereign Knight. I appreciate that, buddy. He says share. So let's see if we can get to at least 200 likes for me, guys. Hit the thumbs up if you haven't done it already. I would really appreciate it. Let me jump down and grab a couple more comments that are not super chats. Who else did we get in the building here? I'm just going to pick a few. Let's see here. What is John Somerville says a Porsche GT3 and 4RS plus the turbo version are some of the best track cars out there. 100% agree. I think there's a lot of folks that are just traditional like Mopar lovers or just Mustang lovers or whatever. And the thought of a 6, whether it's a turbo, you get the turbo inline 6, they have great turbo V6s out there as well, or even some of the 4-cylinder stuff. I mean, that's more of like, the import type scene. A lot of guys hate that, but there are some very, very fast cars. And like I said, everything kind of has its merits. Everything has its kind of core group or whatever. Porsche, those guys are pretty nichey too. But if you've ever driven, like, for example, a GT3, they're really fun cars to drive. They may not necessarily be the fastest car in a straight line, although I have seen some like 911 turbos and some cars like that will absolutely haul the mail in a straight line. Typically those cars are tuned and, get a few things done. But I mean, I've seen multiple of those cars that will run mid to low 9s without even trying. So, everything has it, like I said, everything has its merits, guys. Let me see here. What else? John's saying, John's got it. Let's see, but Dodges are much more affordable. There is that, right? So now that obviously has been changing over time, which might or might not be a part of my video tomorrow, but you guys will just have to wait and see. Turbo 3 cylinders move, says Eric. You know what? Like I said, there's folks that do all sorts of different types of racing. Go talk to the guys that do road course stuff or like, the autocross stuff, I should say. You know what the number one car for autocross is? A lot of guys don't even know or they could care less. but it's a freaking Miata because they're just light. It's like driving a go-kart on steroids. And guys have a lot of fun with it. Everybody has their unique thing that they like. And I respect all of it. I mean, I'm a true performance enthusiast. I can appreciate anything from, just like I said, 4-cylinder cars all the way up to the 12-cylinder Bad Daddy Lambos and the stuff they have out there. Love me a 16-cylinder Bugatti that nobody can afford. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff out there. So let me grab a couple more super chats, guys. And I'm going to jump down. Now I'm going to get to the meat of what I really wanted to talk to you guys about. I'm 30 minutes in. Let me grab these super chats, and then we'll start talking a little bit about the thumbnail that I had for you guys tonight. Let's see here. Let me jump in. Who did I miss here? Okay, so did I miss? I see Blur's got a super chat here. Okay, so next was Blur. He says 392 Wranglers are coming back for 2025 and Durango Hellcat. Yes, they are. Unfortunately, they're coming back in very limited numbers. And when I say limited, I mean very limited. And they are going to cost an arm and a leg. The price of those cars is going way up for 2025. I've already gotten confirmation. They will not be cheap. So unless you, I hate to say it this way, but unless you have more money than sense, those cars will not make sense. It's like, I just, that's all I can say about it. It just don't make sense. They're going to be prohibitively expensive. So that's just part of it. And yeah, I mean, I'm amazed they're doing it at all. I think they wanted to just get through some of their other engine inventory that just happened to be hanging out. Why not? I mean, you know, they're trying to cut costs by 30%. We'll talk about that one in tomorrow's video, but you know, they have to do different things to try and make it make sense. So, okay. Aaron, what did he say? Isn't the GT3 Paul Walker's car? That's a good question. I don't know, Aaron. I mean, I always think of him with the Supra. I guess that MK4 Supra, that's always the one that I just think about with him. I know he loves the GTR, the Skyline. He loved, obviously, he's not with us anymore. Been a long time, but yeah, he's had a lot of cool ones. The GT3 may be one of his other cars. I know, you know, from the Fast and Furious, Dom was always kind of the old school muscle guy that loved the big horsepower, big blower sticking up through the hood, and what's not to love about that American muscle. And Paul Walker was always seemingly more of like an import guy. But that's the cool, I think that's one of the things that always resonated about Fast and Furious movies was that you had a blending of all those car cultures in those movies. Now they became completely unrealistic and just kind of ridiculous as they went on and on and on and on. But if you look at the original ones, I think those were the best ones. And they were, because it was more about the cars, right? We're not taking a Fiero into space and, you know, hunting submarines with cars and just, you know, that stuff. But I digress. Anyway, good question, Aaron. And then Jay Beeman, although now Jay Beeman is up to 15 and has taken the lead for the hat. Thank you, Jay, for the super chat. And let's see, he says, all right, I'll take the lead. Yes, you certainly did. So Jay Beeman is in the lead with $15 for the custom hat with the other goodies. I'll sign it and get it in the mail in the next day or two. Who else am I missing? Aaron, he says, let's see, the one he died in. I thought the one he died in was a 918. Am I wrong, guys? Maybe it was a GT3. I thought it was a 918 Spider, the one he died in, but I could be wrong. Oh, you guys may know. I don't know. Chime in there. Dylan says he thinks it was a GT3. I thought it was a 918 for some reason, which is like a hypercar, right? But I could be incorrect. I just don't remember. But good question, Aaron. I appreciate it, buddy. All right, so really quick, guys, I got the super chats in. Let's see, Fast and Furious Nightmare on Elm Street. That's funny. Talking about the different, you know, have you guys seen the memes where they show Dom and he's walking around with like a walker, you know, like Fast and Furious 40 or something? Anyway, who knows? It could be true. But guys, hit the thumbs up for me on the way in the door if you wouldn't mind. I would really appreciate that. Let's see here. Who else have I missed? Ty says, never got a chance to drive one, maybe one day. The SRT4 Neon I used to drive was a mean little guy. You know what? There's a lot of love for the SRT4 Neons, which is actually a really good segue to the next thing I was going to talk about. So for the last many months, now a lot of you guys are well aware that, you know, my Demon 170 went down, and while it was down, I was waiting on the engine, all that kind of stuff. The car they gave me, the Behemoth they gave me, was a Wagoneer. Now, The Wagoneer it had issues. The electrical issues. I mean, like there was one day where I was driving the car, the window went down and it just never went back up. And I'm like on the highway, I got bugs in my teeth and everything, and just, it was not great. Let's see here. X bought a Hornet, says Aaron. I did not buy a Hornet. But I had this behemoth of a vehicle, and it had the Hurricane in it. And I have to tell you, the Hurricane has really impressed me from an engine perspective, from a driving perspective. And look at the vlog jumping in. I love it. So the vlog. Oh, Alex just trumped everybody though. So hold on, guys. All right. So the vlog. I gotta get your super chats, guys. I'll get to all those in 1 second, guys. Give me 1 sec. So anyway, I want to finish my thought because I know you guys are probably gonna like blow up on this. But I was really impressed with the Hurricane engine. It gave me some thoughts. And then I thought, you know what? Maybe I need to think about going back, like doing a build like with a Hemi instead of just buying cars. Maybe do a car build. I actually work with an influencer. I don't want to say his name just yet because everything is still coming together on this. But I thought maybe I could do a really cool build for the channel. Something new, something unique. I actually put some stuff out there on my community page about maybe some different directions that I could take a build. And then I kind of put feelers out there with Stellantis, with Direct Connection. And we all know that the new engine for Roadkill Nights is actually going to be the Hurricane now. It was supposed to be the Hurricane last year. They yanked it. That's what these builders are building this year. A lot of stuff happening behind the scenes. I have been trying to get with Direct Connection for a long time. They've had a change of leadership. And when I knew that happened, I thought this is a perfect time to see if we can figure something out. So I cannot tell you a lot, but I can tell you that one, Direct Connection is very on board with working with me with a very new and special build. It's going to be sort of race inspiring, if that makes sense. Something I think would be neat, something nobody else is doing. The only issue I'm having is finding the right platform. And when I say that, it's tough. It has to be the right platform, and the right platform really doesn't exist. So we're trying to make it work. I'm waiting on a little more information, but you guys may see a video coming out from me pretty soon, because now that I know Direct Connection is on board with working with myself and working with this other influencer who is a really good guy, really good at what he does, I think we can put together something that is cool, unique, and fast. And that's the idea. And so I can't give you a lot more yet, guys, because I feel like every time I do, it bites me right in the butt. But it's in the works. I've been working on it for a long time. It's just now starting to kind of come together. And it's something I've wanted to do for the channel for quite some time. There are two issues. One is I'm just a guy. Like, I don't have my own garage. I don't have, I have some mechanical ability, but I don't necessarily have a massive tool set. I don't have the space. There are some constraints that I typically deal with. And I'm not really, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not really a build guy. I would love to increase my knowledge when it comes to building cars. You know what I mean? In terms of building them from, not just going out and tinkering with engines or with like actual doing builds. But other guys, they have all the right skill set, and they have the right equipment, the right space. They have all the right stuff going for them. And so I'm more of a racer, guys. I really am. I mean, I've been drag racing, for forever. I don't want to date myself, long time. And that's something I've always enjoyed doing. But when it comes to the build thing, that's never really been my thing. But if you look at a lot of channels that are doing really well out there right now, they're build channels. Take a guy like Weston, he's got his own shop. He does a lot of his own work. Weston Champlin, great channel. He stuck a big old diesel in a Mustang. He does wild off the wall stuff. Throttle. I love those guys, know them well. They're constantly building new stuff, doing great. Look at Tavares, right? He gets stuff off of Copart. He's rebuilding a McLaren P1, I can't believe he even tried that, but he is. He's in Orlando. I can go on and on. Lee is doing really well. There's a ton of them. Scrap Life Garage. they're doing great. The build channels just do well because they're giving you stuff that you wouldn't ordinarily think of, you wouldn't ordinarily see. And that's kind of what makes it fun. So anyway, I thought I would try something just new. But in order for me to do it right, I've got to kind of pair with somebody else. I can leverage their channel at the same time. And if I can work with Dodge and Direct Connection, that could be a lot of fun. So I want to give you guys something cool. It's in the works. I can't give you a lot more until I know for sure. I've just been told that they're on board. I got to get everything put together in the box and make it all make sense. And then we're going to have something fun. So that's what I've been working on behind the scenes. That's partly why I've been a little bit quiet on the channel. I didn't do a live last month because I just didn't have a whole lot more to give you with the Demon being down, giving you guys break-in miles. So this could be a lot of fun. Tell me what you guys, I want to check your comments. I'm going to check these super chats. And I know you guys want more info, guys. I wish I could give you more right now. I don't want it to bite me in the butt if it doesn't happen. It looks like it's going to, but there's a few challenges that we've got to make sure we work through before we actually get it going. I think it is going to happen. So don't be surprised if you see a new build coming to the channel, guys. That's all I can give you. Let me look and see where we're at here. Okay, so the vlog, healthcare, where are you, buddy? He has, let's see, there he is. So the vlog is up to 27, and he says, winners win. I love it. And then immediately Alex jumps in there. $50 super chat. Alex, thank you, buddy. Alex just straight jumped in there on that. So we got Alex with 50. Let's see here. And we've got the Tog blog with 27 and my man Jay Beeman with 15. Thank you guys for the super chats. I really do appreciate it. And like I said, I'll try and get these sent out as soon as possible. And I think I might have missed one. Did I not? Let's see here. There's also a Sleeper Reaper jumping in there. And he says, I sent you a DM on Instagram. Isn't it RacerX new? Yes, it is. And he says, I want a signed hat also, please. I'll see if I can work that out for you, buddy. Like I said, if you already sent me something on Instagram, I will get it when I get off my live tonight, and we'll set something up to where I can get you one of these hats. Like I said, guys, brand new hats are in. I know some of you guys jumped in the live a little later. Just got these. If you want one, my Etsy shop is acting weird right now. I don't know if I'm going to get that fixed or not, but I will get you one if you just, like I said, message me on Instagram, like I said, and I'll just have you guys PayPal me or something, and I'll just go put them in the mail. We'll make it easy. So anyway, not the preferred way because it's just a little more stuff on my part, but either way, I got these hats for you guys to get them, and we're going to make it happen. So there you go. Let's see here. What else? So guys, I am really excited about this build I'm telling you about. I know I'm a little bit cryptic with it, but I have to be right now. But what would you guys like to see? I know a lot of you guys want to see me build, a Hellcat swapped minivan. You guys have told me all sorts of different stuff. Let's see. J-Dog, if you want to go ahead, hit me up on Instagram, and I'll message you about the hats. So just let me know. Let's see. Blur, what's he say? How long? I'm trying to get to some more comments, guys. How long do you think the 170 Hellcrate engines will stay? That's a really good question. Thank you for the super chat. And I think they will probably stick around. They'll stick around for the next few years. I mean, they built enough of them. They just don't get that many ordered, if I'm honest. You would think that they would get hundreds and hundreds. They really don't. I mean, I think they'll be around and available to order for the foreseeable future. When that is, I can't say. I mean, I think it's anybody's guess. Whenever their supply runs out, I'm guessing they have a healthy supply. They knew they were going to be shutting the supply chains down. The engines that they're going to be putting in, the 392 Jeep, for example, and then of course the Hellcat, the Hellcat stuff that they did for 2024, all that stuff. They knew those plants were going to be shut down. They had extras, so they're like, let's build some other stuff. We're not going to build a lot of them. You might as well. And yeah, I agree. Might as well, right? Give us what you got. So anyway, good question. Aaron's saying a cool Magnum build. So here's the thing with the Magnum, and it is a platform. Thank you, Aaron, for the super chat, buddy. It is a platform that I am highly considering. However, The one drawback with the Magnum is that it's freaking heavy. And I think in order to really showcase this, I want it to be light, which with Mopars is tough. That's the truth of it. They don't make a lot of light Mopars. But I feel like it would be, the ideal situation is to find a platform that is light. So that's the biggest drawback with the Magnum. I looked at the weight on it and it's heavy. So that's just something to think about. Even when I looked at Roadkill Nights, when that dude in blue, he built a Magnum car for that. Honestly, he had lots of power in it. I think it was too heavy of a platform based on the other stuff he was trying to race. That didn't make it any less cool. Kudos, I thought he built a really cool car. And I know he put a ton of energy into it. It was heavy. And that's the truth of it. So let me see here. I love the super chats. Guy says, go all-wheel drive and that will offset the weight. To some degree, and yes, on the street it would help it. But I still think I would like to find something much lighter. And if you put a good tire underneath it, that makes a world of difference, especially with the way that this particular offering makes power. I don't know if it's going to hurt it that much. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So let's see here. Sleeper Reaper jumping in here. He says twin turbo, 5.0 10-speed 4x4 Ranger. Not going that route. So anyway, and look at my man Heavy Metal jumping in here. Heavy Metal Automotive. Thank you for the super chat as well. Thank you guys for the super chats. 6th gen 10-speed Camaro. That is very much one that I was considering buying for the channel and building, but I can confirm that it will not, this particular offering will not be a GM. I can tell you that right now. So I'm putting it out there. And I've already kind of let the cat out of the bag that I'm working with Direct Connection. So I don't know how well those guys would take putting whatever it is that I plan to do in a GM vehicle. But I think it would still be cool. It would open up a lot of possibilities for me, but unfortunately it would not, it wouldn't go, it wouldn't fly. So now I still think it would be a really cool build, but unfortunately not. Thank you very, very much for the super chat. As a matter of fact, my man Heavy Metal actually just took the lead away from Alex. And he's got $100. Wow, thank you very much. So now Heavy Metal's in the lead for the custom hat and the other goodies that I was gonna put in there. I'm gonna try and make it cool. So anyway, like I said, I always try and do something. I was just excited about my new hats finally coming in. So many people have asked me about them. So we'll get you guys one. If you want one, hit me up. Let me look and see who else we've got on here. Roland saying, let's see again, Prowler has always needed more power. It has. And I think the Prowler is really a unique car. The issue with the Prowler is from a suspension geometry perspective. I know guys have done it by cutting up really the whole car. I've even seen, I think one guy put a Hellcat in one or something. After talking about it with multiple people, the Prowler is just a platform that's going to be near impossible to do what I want to do, unfortunately. It would be cool. It would be almost impossible. I can just tell you that right now. I think it would be neat. But anyway, I appreciate the comment on it, and I definitely thought about it. I actually put it in one of my things on my channel, on my community page, but I don't think it's going to work. Let's see here. D. Martinez, what's the first letter of the car? Well, that is the issue, right? I haven't come to a complete decision on exactly what car it's going to be. And that's what makes it a challenge, right? I've got lots of stuff kicking around in my head. I've got it narrowed way down. But the one thing that I wanted to do, there were two things I wanted to do, and neither one worked. So I kind of had to go back to the drawing board So we still have some discussions to be had. There's actually a shop that I need to get a hold of to talk about some different things, and we've got a few logistical things to get figured out. But we're going to get it done. One way or the other, we're going to get it done. So James Photo's in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Let's go Nissan Z. I know that you like your Nissan Z, and what a cool car. You have to tell me again, that car is fast. So my man, James Photos, has done some wild stuff to his Nissan Z, and it's extremely cool, and it's very, very fast. And anyway, kudos to you, buddy. I love that. And thank you for the super chat. It's light and fun, no question. Once again, I don't think that the powers that be would be happy with me putting it in a different platform, like an import platform or something from GM. I just don't see it. I don't see it going down well. I think if I'm going to get these guys to help me out, then I kind of have to work within the confines of what they want me to do. Not to say what I have a lot of freedom with this, but I have to work within the boundaries, if that makes sense. So there's that. And Heavy Metal also says Starion, Conquest, or Dakota RT. All of those are really good suggestions because they're easy platforms to build on. And I will be honest with you right now, I have actually thought about each one of those platforms. So you are actually onto something. Thank you for the super chats. All of those had been considered and are still being considered because they meet. I could tell when you put that down that you were thinking along the lines of what I was mentioning. So thank you for the super chat. Heavy Metal's up to 120. He's going to be hard to beat, guys. So really, really appreciate it. And then Aaron says, give us a hint, turbo or supercharger. I cannot, Aaron, because that would give it away. And if I said naturally aspirated, that would also kind of give it away. So Aaron's always trying to get that little bit of information from me. So the only person on here that actually knows what I'm doing is Sovereign Knight, and he's not going to tell you. And he doesn't know exactly what I'm doing, but he's got a pretty good sense. You guys won't be able to bribe Sovereign Knight into telling you, though. I promise you. Not yet. So anyway, he says, I love it. Jeff Noob says, give it. Give it up, X. 84 Charger says BB Dragon 66. That's another interesting concept. Let's see. CB Turbo 72. Imagine how light the original Viper would be if you swapped out the V10. Also a platform I really wanted to do. Couple issues with the Viper, and I'm going to tell you this right now. One is they're really hard to find. You can find them, like you can find the RT10s much easier than you could find GTSs. Like Gen 1 and Gen 2, like even the Gen 3s, it's really weird. The Gen 2s are more expensive than the Gen 3s. I've done a lot of research on this. The other thing you struggle with a Viper is that it gives you a lot of room. You're right. You take a big 10-cylinder out, you can fit almost anything in. But it's the oil pan design that makes it tough. And so not only that, but finding a car that's not ridiculously expensive is also a challenge. And a build like that would get a lot of people. If I put it in a Viper, I think it would piss a lot of people off. I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be fun and different. But I think a lot of Viper guys would be really pissed. And you know what? It is what it is. But that's the way it goes with a lot of builds. That pisses people off. It pissed people off when Throttle put a Hellcat engine in a Viper. So, but I still thought that car was awesome. It had a few issues. They probably didn't talk a lot about it, but they did it. And so anyway, anything's doable, but I don't know. It's definitely food for thought. So, but I like the Viper platform. I think a Gen 1 Viper would be a really cool way to go. And that's one of the most iconic Mopars in my mind that there's ever been, right? Back in 1992, that thing was just epic. So I remember the very first time I ever saw a Viper, I was living in Denver, and I looked over and it was John Elway sitting like next to the car, and he was in a Viper. And I still remember how wide and how low that Viper looked. And I thought it was so cool. Yeah, so somebody's saying right there the Gen 2 Vipers are like as much as the only thing that's more expensive than a Gen 2 Viper is like the Gen 5. And those are really expensive now. So Vipers have just kind of gotten out of hand. I'm not trying to break the bank with the car itself. If I'm being afforded a lot of the other stuff, it's the kind of thing I just want to showcase what it will do. So let me grab some more comments, guys. I'm having a good time with this, and I've got some more stuff to talk about. Like I said, one of the things about tomorrow's video is my thought on Carlos Tavares's secret motive, and that's going to be part of what's in the title, in terms of what's going on with FCA in my mind. So, because there's a lot of moving parts with FCA, and everybody's talking down about it right now, and I get it. I think we have to just look at both sides of the coin and see where we come out. So let's see here. I meant as far as looks. Let's see. I'm trying to look and get all this. Hurricane and a Stealth. That would be a cool build. Definitely a car I think that would be fun. Unfortunately, a Stealth is a V6. If you get the turbo, you know, you get a 6-cylinder turbo, but it's a V6, which means it's very compact. The Hurricane is an inline 6. It's a much longer engine. It also has dual overhead cam, which means it's got a much bigger head on it, so to speak. So that is the challenge, because technically the Hurricane engine is actually a much larger engine. And it's really weird because when you look at the engine out of, say, like a VR4 or a Stealth Twin Turbo, it looks big, but it's not nearly as long. And that in itself is a challenge. I love the idea. Believe me, I love that idea. So anyway, good stuff. I'm loving these comments, guys. Let's see here. Who else? Eric saying let's see, a Ned Doofy has 2-speed Morris Viper. I'm trying to see what he's saying. That Morris makes big power engines. Let's see. Who else am I missing here? I like the 89 Eclipse much better than an 84 Charger. So that was what they called those, DSMs, right? And not district sales manager. I don't know what that was just one of those things. And I thought those cars, you know, what was that? Back in the old Eagle Talon days, right? So once again, a pretty unique platform. So let me jump down and see who else I have missed. B. Mason was toying around with the idea of a 392 1500 Ram. Yeah, absolutely. I wish they'd have built that. Diamond Star Motors. Yes, that's right. That's what it was. So Ryan's saying that DSM meant Diamond Star Motors, and he's right. So Scat Speed, yep, he's going old school Mopar. So what do you guys think? You guys think I'm going to go like really old school Mopar? 70s? What do you guys think? I mean, I'm liking it. See, somebody's saying it's a CUDA, 67 to 69. Would that be cool? The possibilities. You know, that's the thing. How about a Prowler? See James Photo. No, I would love a Prowler, especially rat rotted out, but I'd have to work with somebody who could really do some custom fab work on that. Problem is, my engine, it just wouldn't fit in a Prowler very well, unfortunately. Like I said, anything can be done. B. Mason wanted to do a Hurricane inline 6 in a Viper, but the price is nuts. Yes, I actually talked to him about that very thing a couple weeks ago, about his wanting to do that. And we talked a little bit about what I was trying to do, and we talked about it. So I agreed that would be pretty cool. Let's see here. Vipers are slow. You know, the thing about a Viper, they're iconic looking. To some degree, I think it just depends on what you consider to be fast. But, you know, the Viper naturally aspirated 10-cylinder was kind of slow. I mean, not for back in the day. It was fast for back in the day, but if you really look at the numbers on a Viper, or even if you drive one, as cool as they look, they just don't really drive that great. I mean, the way you sit in them is funny because the trans tunnel is so big in them. And it's noticeable. And I've driven all of the generation Vipers. And like I said, my favorite generations are the Gen 2 and the Gen 5, which apparently everybody else feels the same way because those are the two most expensive generation Vipers. And it is really weird when you jump from a Gen 3 up to the Gen 5, how much more money the Gen 5 is. And then you jump down to a Gen 2 and it's way more money than the Gen 3. It's weird. Anyway, I digress. So I think part of it, a lot of people, if you look at the price of the GTS cars, those cars are way more money than the RT cars are. And I personally would love to have a GTS, especially like an old Gen 2 GTS ACR. But like I said, guys, I digress. I can't go that route. It's not going to happen. I wish it would. 1967 to 74 Dart. I love the idea, guys. So anyway, it's fun to ponder this. Yeah, Cody Miller's jumping in. Hey, Cody, good to see you, buddy. Glad you finally got your hat. Oh, really quick. So, Cody, I'm going to tell everybody, I'm going to jump into something else really quick because I'm at 60 minutes and I wanted to cover some other things. So, Cody actually won like a custom hat that I did a while back. And he did all these crazy super chats and stuff. We had so much fun on my live. And then this was like several months ago, and then his hat literally got lost. The post office literally lost his hat for like months. And I was trying, it just kept doing this loop in Tampa, which is where I'm from, guys. And the dang thing just never went to his house. And then finally the tracking number like went away, and I was trying to file insurance so I could make him a new one. And then he just messaged me one day and was like, oh, I finally got it. I was like, thank goodness. Because I kind of had some custom touches to that, and I wanted it to be special for him. And then the post office lost it. You got to love the post office, guys. But anyway, wearing it as we speak, says Cody. I'm so glad you finally got it. I'm so sorry that it worked out that way. But I'm glad you're on tonight, and thank you for the support as always. So really quick, guys, a couple other things. Heavy Metal is winning the signed hat for tonight with the other goodies that I'm going to send him. So if anybody can beat 120, I think the next closest person is Alex at 50. So Heavy Metal's throwing it down tonight. And let's see, they were all designed by Carol Shelby, says Dylan. Yes, sir. Let's see. Sovereign says basically the Viper is a modern 427 Cobra. It kind of is. Nothing looks like a Viper on the road. And that's one of the things, when you talk about Challengers, if you don't know Challengers, most people watching my channel, they know. But if, for the average person on the street, you see an SXT, does it really look, in my mind it does, but everybody just sees a Challenger. You see a Demon 170, oh, it's a Challenger. But there's no mistaking when you see a Viper on the road. There just isn't mistaking it. You know what I mean? And that's part of the allure of that car is that, a Viper's a Viper. And they just look freaking cool. Yes, they might drive like a plow, from the 1970s. They're really small on the inside. The gearing in them is not ideal. They're geared really tall so they can hit at top speed, but down low they kind of lack a little bit. But I still love them, and they look so freaking good. From a design perspective, I just absolutely love a Viper. Like I said, the Gen 2 GTS, that is my jam. I just love that car. Like the blue with the white stripes or the red with the black stripes. Yes, sir, all day. I love that car. But they just aren't affordable, not for what you get. And so, I don't know, guys, I always think about that. I just think the Viper is just a cool looking car. I wish they still made them. I'm not crazy about the Gen 3s. All the way up until the Gen 5, I think they really missed a step with it. When they went to all convertibles, whatever year was the first year the Gen 3 came out, I was bummed. I like the hardtop. I really do. And the RTs, they're great, but there's something about the hardtop GTS, just the way it looks. We talked a lot about Vipers tonight, but I just, there's nothing that looks like a Viper is what I'm trying to say. Camaros, you see a ZL1, you might see a 6-cylinder. It's, Camaro. But when it comes, like I said, there's a few cars out there that when you see them, it's like seeing a Lambo. It's like, that's a Lambo. You see a McLaren, bam, McLaren, instant street cred. A Viper gets that instant street cred. So when you have a car like a 170, which is a badass car, nobody can argue. It's just a badass car. It's violently fast. But to the average passerby, what do you guys think? Do you think a Demon 170, for enthusiasts that know, for all you guys watching my channel, but like, which car do you feel like, if I'm driving around and say a Gen 2 Viper and we pull up to a stoplight, or I'm driving around on my Demon 170, which car gets more attention at the stoplight? You tell me. everybody might be different. Maybe, you know, I would love to hear what you guys think. Let's see here. So really quick, Sleeper Reaper has jumped in there. We need to promote your, what did Sleeper Reaper say? He says, we need to promote your new IG more. Yes, you know what? I don't do a whole lot on my Instagram to promote it. And you're right. I need to do a little bit more on my Instagram, 100%. As a matter of fact, Sleeper Reaper is now, Sleeper Reaper, are you, I think you did another one earlier today too. So that's 100. Thank you for that super chat, by the way. You are the man. And I need to see what you're up to now in terms of total. Aaron says, ever consider a salvage title would keep the cost down? Yes, I have. On Vipers, even the salvage title ones are still what I would consider to be ridiculously expensive. You know, and for me to take, I hate this, but in order for me to take a 10-cylinder out and put something else in, I'm gonna have to get a really, like a steal on a car. But I've been looking at lots of salvage title stuff. I really don't mind that if it's done right and the car is good. That's actually an ideal situation. It's like finding a needle in a haystack sometimes, though. It is tough. Really good question, Aaron. You guys have been really, really helpful tonight. Matter of fact, I got to look and see if Sleeper Reaper took the lead away from heavy metal. Let me see. Sleeper Reaper, did you put anything else out there? Tell me. Yeah, he did. So he put $1.99 out earlier. So he's up to 102. So Sleeper Reaper's creeping up on my man Heavy Metal here. So anyway, guys, I love. There's one of my favorite screen names. One Bad Mofo. I love that screen name. Do you have any information on Tim? So that was actually, you know, you guys have been perfect on the segues tonight. So we're over 200 likes. Thank you guys for that very much. If you guys haven't hit thumbs up, please do. We're 66 minutes in. Let's see here. What did he say? Do you have any information on Tim? Click the like button, guys. Let's see. I also put, that's right, Sleeper Reaper put 20 down earlier, so you're at 122. So Sleeper Reaper actually took the lead away from Heavy Metal by $2 because you've had 3 super chats. I see it now. So thank you for reminding me. So his move was strategic. So Heavy Metal has now been outdone by $2. Anyway, guys, so we'll keep track of that. But so the thing with Tim, so that was a video that I put out, and I've only spoken with Tim one time after he made the transition away from the company. And it was brief, you know, and I basically thanked him for everything that he's done. And, you know, one of the things that really got me upset was the fact that he did so much for the community, and he was a real car guy. And I feel like, you know, even with car companies, they're not, a lot of the senior leadership, they're not car guys. And I have had conversations in person with Tim about just different engines. The Hurricane engine is a big one. We talked a while on that car. There's just, he's one of those guys that truly cared about the brand. And remember, you know, all the people that were bad-mouthing him, saying he's killing the brand, they didn't understand the factors at play. I think people are understanding it more now, but I put a video out about this very thing, and it really did kind of upset me, because I feel like he got an unfair rap. And this is the guy that gave us the Hellcat. He's the one who kind of instigated all the horsepower wars. That's how we got a 760 horsepower Shelby. That's how we got a 755 horsepower ZR1. That's how we got a lot of the cars that pushed the envelope. That's how we got a Plaid. I know you guys hate the Plaid, but that's how we got this. That's where we arrived to having these cars that are so incredibly amazing. And he is the guy. I mean, he's the guy that was like, you know what? We're going to be different. We're just going to not care. And I love that. I love that about him. There's nobody else out there that was willing to build a factory production drag car back in the late 2017 period. Call it a Demon, which is old school Mopar. And then just put it out there to the world for your average consumer to go buy, you know, a car that does wheelies. Nobody had heard of that. And then going out, he knew he's got to do something, so he built the quickest production car in the world. 0 to 60, it is. I mean, on a prep surface, of course, but still, I mean, it takes extreme gonads to do something like that. I mean, he is a performance enthusiast, and he was just chained. He was handcuffed by the constraints between Stellantis and the EPA and all the other pressures. Everything that he built up, he was watching it all be torn down. And I can imagine his frustration and his being upset. I can't speak for Tim, and I've always been clear about this, even in my video I put out about it. I don't speak for Tim. Nobody does. He's not put out anything on it. He probably won't. But I'm just telling you how I would feel if I was in his shoes, knowing him and knowing the situation. And I know for sure that, because this is a guy who like watched these YouTube channels. He watched my channel all the time. I didn't even know that until he told me. Because sometimes he would get pissed at me. I would put something out and he would get mad at me. And I love that because we had this banter back and forth. But I mean, he really did care about the brand. He really did. And it really upset me when he left. I didn't know it was coming. I had an inkling of a thought because some of the emails that I would go back and forth also went to Matt, who's now Matt McClare's the new CEO. But I was really bummed when he left, but I understand. I really do. I think I can understand his thought process of watching. How would you guys feel, right? It's like if you built something up just to watch it get tore down, and then you feel like it's always a fight to kind of keep your legacy, to cement what Dodge is really all about. Because I feel like Tim got it. I really do. I feel like that's a guy that got it. I feel like Carlos Tavares, he doesn't get it. I hate to say it that way. I mean, I don't have anything against him personally, but they're a European car maker, and that is a different consumer. Tim was like, let's go race. This is a guy who would rip around in a Viper. He loved drag racing. I mean, during the Roadkill Nights events, the CEO, Tim Kuniskis, was down there giving us high fives. Like, who else does that? So, yes, I am a little bit defensive about that situation, and I feel like I should be because I feel like people, they just didn't get it. We lost a good one with Tim, and he'll pop up somewhere else. He really will. The guy like that, wherever he goes, I hope to be the guy to get to work with him in the future. So I went off on a huge tangent, but this is a really good point. I had something written down about this that I wanted to touch on it. But guys, don't blame Tim for the demise of Dodge. The direction that they're going right now, believe me, that was not the intent. Like I said, he wouldn't have given us the stuff he gave us. He wouldn't have stuck a freaking Hellcat in a Durango. He wouldn't have stuck a 392 in a Jeep. He's a car guy. He likes what Dodge represented, which has kind of gone away. It's sad. It's frustrating. I know a lot of you guys, are upset about it, but I love that about Tim. I love that he was kind of a pioneer. The marketing that Matt and his team put together for Tim, for all of their offerings. I mean, some of the Hellcat stuff they did was amazing. The Phil Collins video, the Predators commercial, go look it up on YouTube. The original look up Predators commercial Dodge, and you will see one of the original videos that they had the Viper and both Hellcats in, and it is awesome. It's a minute and a half long. I still play it all the time. I love it, and many of you guys have never seen it. What they did with the Demon and just all that stuff. Now, the Demon 170 marketing was a little bit weird. Once again, I guarantee you that they had other pressures, because if you look at the quality of what they were spending, like on the marketing going like into the Demon 170 thing, and then you look at the marketing for the Demon 170, it looked kind of janky, right? A lot of people agree. Now you start to see kind of what happened, right? Everything started to tumble downhill, and it's just like watching your baby die, to him. It's got to feel that way. So anyway, I don't speak for him. I'm just telling you how I would feel if I was in his position, and I think most of you guys would feel the same way. So there's that. I digress. 182 people on, guys. So I love these little tangents I go on. So I did see a super chat come across. Sleeper Reaper, I think I put 20, then $1.99, then 99. I don't know. Then the obvious. So Sleeper Reaper is now up to 127. So you are definitely in the lead, buddy. I appreciate your super chats, guys. So you guys have been very generous tonight. I really appreciate that. You guys are awesome. Hector's saying a late model Dodge Caravan, but keep the sliding door. Hector's killing me. So really quick, guys. So I put out several videos. You guys know I had the Demon back. Put videos out about that. Since I haven't talked to you in 2 months, I have so much content that I didn't really go back into. Obviously, I want to start racing again. How much to replace my Demon 170 engine? If you have not watched that, go watch it. Let's see, stage kits for the Scat Packs. You guys continue to ask me about that. I know they're still under development. A lot more is coming from Direct Connection. I will tell you that right now. Direct Connection is looking to do a lot more moving forward because they have platforms that they can do a lot more with. Yes, the Hellcat, they can do stuff with. 392 is much harder. As you guys know, I've talked about it at length. Same with the 5.7. It's just, you just don't get that much from it. When you got a Hurricane where you can just put a tune on it and gain, you know, tons of power, that opens up a whole world of possibilities. And of course, you have the EVs, they'll have the stage kits for those. I know most of you guys don't necessarily care about that. And for the first year, they're already kind of adding some of the stage kits in for the offering. But I know a lot of you guys just don't really care about that. I'm not super excited about the electric car, although I'm still hoping to get up to Dodge here in the next couple of months and drive the new car and bring that to you guys. And that's something I've been working with Dodge with for like 6 months, more than that, 8 months, a long time. I think that that's going to happen here very soon. So I'll keep you guys posted. Proof that the V8 is dying. Even the Mustang sales right now, guys, they're suffering. They're not good. It's weird. I think a lot of it is just price point driven. I don't really know, but they're not. You would think the Mustang is really the best option out there if you still want an American V8. They're not selling the way that they were hoping. So there is that. Another video that I put out is the 2018 Demon better than the 2023 Demon 170? That is a question that a lot of people kind of ponder, right? Because the 170s, we're starting to see some issues with those cars. You know, guys know about my situation. The 2018, they had some diff issues, but by and large, those cars were pretty awesome. But then again, it was basically just a modified red eye that they did a few things to, whereas the Demon 170, they re-engineered basically the whole engine, whole supercharger. They did so many unique things to the Demon 170, and I think that's part of the issue. So anyway, there's that piece of it. So I put a video out about that. I did see another super chat come in, Sleeper Reaper, I think again, right? Yeah, he says, let's see, he says, I would have just really loved that custom package for my collection. Absolutely, buddy. Well, thank you for the super chat again. He's up to 133. I'm on it. So anyway, buddy, thank you very much for that. Man, you guys are awesome. Let's see, who else here? I'm going to grab a couple more. Seen a Mach 1 from behind tonight. Looked cool from the rear. They do. Yes, they are nice looking cars. Had a Dark Horse right next to me on the road today as well. Let's see here. Stellantis responding to my questions about the Demon 170. I put out a video about that. They were extremely vague, guys. They never really said anything. They just wouldn't give me a lot of information. They never veered from the Demon 170 supplement. I know why. Because they just didn't want a 3,300 car recall. But they were very vague. I mean, it was like basically use your best judgment as to when to change the oil. Yeah, they just didn't give me much. So I don't want to give you guys all of it, but if you guys haven't seen that video, go see what Stellantis said about all the hard questions that I asked about the Demon 170, and you guys will find out. The driving the Hurricane for 6 months, for 1 month, I talked about that and my thoughts about it. So if you have not seen that, go take a look. Obviously, it was in a big old Wagoneer, but I was still very impressed with the engine itself. Dodge is using hypercar technology. So there is a patent out there that Dodge filed for the new Charger to actually give it active aero in the front, which is a weird thing to see that on a car. I mean, yes, I realize some expensive cars do have that. I think that Formula One may have some technology like that. Obviously, you've got cars out there, Bugattis and Koenigsegg's and some of that high dollar stuff, you know, the 918, where you've got active wings and stuff depending upon how much you brake and all that. But who knows? Dodge may decide that they want to use that for their EVs. We shall see. I mean, it's a patent they filed. There's also a video that I did about the Belmont Hellcat. Did you guys see that, about the guy that's running around in Seattle basically terrorizing the entire city with his Hellcat that's super loud? And he's not just, he's out there doing street takeovers and being all crazy, and they find him 83 grand. And the guy is just being a complete jackass. He really is, on purpose, being as loud and obnoxious as possible, trying to get as much attention as possible, and then just simply not caring to conform with what they've asked him to do. He even showed up to court in a ninja suit. That was one of my updates. The guy's given us all a really bad look. I hate to say it, but that really pisses me the hell off. And it's not a situation where you should be able to do whatever you want. It's not. It's never been. You still need to be respectful of other people. You know, when you've got people that have children sleeping, and you've got and he thinks it's funny, and it's gotten him this big Instagram thing. What a joke! I tried to be as politically correct as possible in my video, meaning that like I just tried to be factual, and I always do, but I just have an issue with that behavior. I think it's not a good look for me. It's not a good look for you guys. It gives the whole car community a really crappy look. And for whatever reason, people love it because his Instagram blew up to like 760,000 followers. Why are people watching that? And that's why he's doing it. That's what pisses me off even more. It is what it is. Aaron says he's a complete tool. There you go. Thank you, Aaron, for the super chat. But anyway, I put a video out about it. If you want to go look at it, it was my second to last video. And then the last one I put out about hackers demanding $64 million from Stellantis over this hack on their systems, like their inventory systems. They've got a whole system that all these networks use. Like 95% of the dealerships across the nation use this CDK system. And they have all been basically shut down, and it's been affecting a lot of people. Many of you guys probably watching the channel work at dealerships, and it's affected you. And anybody wants to go out and buy a new car right now, it's a problem. So anyway, guys, definitely something to consider there. It is not an ideal situation, but hopefully they'll get it. I mean, I don't know if Stellantis even paid a $64 million ransom to get everything back and going. You're dealing with criminals. Are they really going to follow through with their end of it? I mean, it just doesn't seem like a smart thing to do in my mind. But I don't know how it's going to get resolved, guys. So that's it. So anyway, guys, all of that is content that I put out since the last live that I've done with you guys. So I just want to put it all out there. If you guys haven't seen any of the ones that I just talked about, like I said, a new video coming out tomorrow, secret build, hopefully coming to the channel here very soon. I want to bring you through the whole thing, but I can't give you more about it just yet. Sovereign Knight is putting all my links out there. Thank you, buddy. Once again, if you guys want, it looks like Sleeper Reaper is going to get my custom hat. He outbid Heavy Metal, and Heavy Metal, thank you so much, buddy, for the support and the super chats. And I don't think anybody has beat Sleeper Reaper on this. So sign this, and also got a few other little things to send out to you as well. And guys, I'm about there. I mean, I didn't get a ton of comments. I tried to see them as they were coming through. Christopher says, dude, I'm a disabled vet and my wife works in the medical field. With our house payment and living in Gainesville, 55K is steep for us on a Mustang. You know, that's the sentiment with a lot of people, is just these cars have just become unaffordable. And that's a shame. You know, it really is. I wish it wasn't like that. And that's part of why I put some of the comments in my video for tomorrow. So, you know, I want to... Heavy Metal had to wait till the last minute to jump in there and try and sweep in. Heavy Metal's now at 140, and Sleeper Reaper's at 133. So right at the end of the live, Heavy Metal's going to sweep in. And wow, Heavy Metal's bringing the noise. Sleeper Reaper says, I had to get that package. I couldn't miss out on a once-in-a-lifetime chance. But then Heavy Metal just outbid him. What am I going to do here? Oh, no. Oh, I have to figure this out. Anyway, guys, this is fun. This is always interesting at the end of my lives. Like, Heavy Metal was just lurking. Sleeper Reaper just gave me another. So Sleeper Reaper's at 187. Good Lord. Sleeper Reaper's at 187. And Heavy Metal is at 140. Sleeper Reaper's not going to miss out on it tonight. I'll tell you what, you guys have both been fantastic. I'll tell you what. Go ahead and both you guys hit me up on Instagram. And It's heavy metal. Heavy metal is, wow, heavy metal's not going down without a fight. So heavy metal's now at what are you at? 189, says heavy metal. You guys are awesome. Thank you for the super chats. I really appreciate it. So it's funny, you get down to the end here and then you get like these like bidding wars and stuff, and everybody's like, hey, and so there's Jeff Nubis saying, great job, guys. Yes, and you know, when we do this, I really appreciate it, guys, because it always helps the channel. I'm always trying to come up with new ways. So, Sleeper Reaper with a big old super chat. I tell you what, man, you guys are awesome. So here's what I'm gonna do. I need Sleeper Reaper and Heavy Metal. You guys hit me up in the in my Instagram. Let me know, and we'll get you sorted. So no worries. I wasn't gonna do two, but you guys are just being awesome tonight. This is what happened when I sent Cody his hat. It was like the same thing. We got in a bidding war at the end, and you guys both are very deserving. So I'll get you guys squared away. Hit me up on Instagram, RacerX New, and we'll get it for you. No worries. You guys have been awesome. Thank you guys for all your super chats, by the way. I'm having a good time watching you guys go for this at the end here, and you guys are both very deserving. So, man, I wish I had stuff to give like everybody, because you guys are all amazing. So anyway, let me see. What did Heavy Metal say? I got to look at the comments really quick because I'm really enjoying it. Let's see. Oh, Patrick is in the house. He says, what are we bidding on? Patrick, they're bidding on this one of my RacerX. This is actually the one I did. This is like hat number one because it is a, this was my sample. So anyway, you have that. And so that's the one I was going to kind of sign. I have some other goodies to go out with it. And that's what they were bidding on for tonight. Now my hats are available for sale. You have to hit me up on Instagram right now because my Etsy store went weird earlier today, but I'll still get everybody hats. I'll just send you guys, we'll figure it out. Like I said, we'll get those sent out for those who want one. We'll get it sorted. So anyway, you guys went back and forth on this. It's always a lot of fun looking at these things. I'm trying to see what nothing but love Heavy Metal. So Sleeper Reaper and Heavy Metal will both get one of those. Guys, I want to take a second and talk about one quick thing before I adjourn. I went a little long tonight because of the super chats and stuff being fun. And I know I didn't get to all the comments. Only 70% of the general public feels that they can afford to purchase a new car, says Gary. That's a scary thought. Gary's comment is very true. And he's not wrong. So I guess something to think about there. But anyway, tonight's live was really meant to be very interactive, and it was a lot of fun. 250 likes. Lots of super chats in there again tonight, guys. So thank you for all the support. I really do appreciate it. D. Martinez says, what time do I sleep? Here, as soon as I get off of here and I check some of my Instagram messages, I'm probably going to call it, guys. And I haven't eaten tonight. I probably need to eat dinner before I go to bed. Not good for me. Not going to the gym tonight, guys. It got late on me, but I haven't been live with you guys in 2 months. So, but I do want to leave you guys with just a quick thought. Once again, I want to tell all you guys how much I really appreciate your support. That you guys that are on my channel right now, you guys are my core people. I like sharing things with you guys. I like hearing your ideas. Don't be afraid to hit me up on Instagram if you have an idea for a video. Please do. I thrive on that, guys. As a matter of fact, I need that. So many of my really good video ideas have come from you guys. So vehicle prices are bottom line ridiculous, says Aaron. And Aaron's right. You know, Aaron Nilsson, my man, it's good to see him on again tonight as well. He's been in my super chat battles before, which I love that. I love that. So tonight, my winners are Heavy Metal and Sleeper Reaper. So that's wonderful. But anyway, guys, so we'll go ahead and I got to cap it at some point because that'll just keep going crazy. But I just want to kind of leave you guys with a couple of quick things because I do appreciate you guys so much. And, I could not do this thing without you, and I wouldn't, and sometimes I do get a little frustrated with some of the comments. That's YouTube in general. And, one of the things I've always told my daughter, and I've always told, my daughter's here, by the way, for all summer, and I love having her. She's in a room in there, kind of being quiet, being good. But I think the tendency is to want to get, to try and lash out or get angry. And I find myself doing that sometimes too. And what I'm trying to do right now is take a big step back when the world gets to be just too much, because there are a lot of really inconsiderate people out there that are just, they just only care about themselves. It's evident. That's the world we live in. And Sarban is right. I mean, he says we're only human, and that's a very accurate. I'm sorry, not active, accurate statement is what I'm trying to say. But I would encourage you guys to take a big step back and realize that people are always going through unique things. Some stuff is kind of inexcusable, but you can't change people, and all you can do is control yourself. And that's what I have to remind myself. That's what I tell my daughter all the time: is rather than get frustrated or upset, you can only control so much. So try and spread a little happiness, a little bit of joy to random people that you may not necessarily know. If there's something you can do to brighten somebody else's day, that kind of thing is contagious. And I feel like my core folks, we have still 150 people on. I feel like you guys are a bunch of really good, caring people that are very genuine. And I love that. I love that. I tell my sponsors all the time. I have new sponsors coming on board all the time. I say I have the best audience in terms of just their loyalty and just their being good people. And I absolutely love that. Reference to the OnlyFans comment, says Aaron. No, buddy, it's not. I do not have an OnlyFans like Aaron's suggesting. He always says that. It's so funny. But I would just encourage you guys, do what you can to brighten somebody else's day, even if they're acting like a complete butt clown, even if they don't necessarily deserve it. Know that you're doing your part. And that's what I'm trying to take with me. Jalen says OnlyFans. No, guys, it's not. Anyway, but Aaron, see what you're starting. I'm trying to have a serious moment. Aaron's killing me here. So anyway, guys, spread a little joy, spread a little love, spread a little positivity in other people's lives, and you've done your part. That's all I can say about it. I love that about so many of you guys have reached out to me with unique things that you do in your own lives that are cool. And I love hearing those stories. I really do try to get back to you guys on Instagram as quickly as I can. I'll get my Etsy shop up and running soon, but we'll get that going. But I just want to leave you with that, guys, that one little thought of positivity, being grateful, being respectful to everybody. And if we all had that attitude, the world would just be so much better of a place. But we can start with ourselves. Start small. So anyway, guys, thank you all so much. I really appreciate it. I can't wait to do this build for you guys. I'm just stay tuned. Watch my video tomorrow at 4 o'clock about what's going on, my thoughts about what's really going on with Stellantis. It might change some minds out there. And once again, guys, thank you all very much. I hope you guys have a really good night. I appreciate it. And until next time, RacerX.